Hello and welcome. Today I wanted to talk to you about how to know if you're on the right spiritual path. And I'm going to preface this with saying that I am outside and I'm hoping that everything audio-wise is good. It seems today that there are a lot of four-wheelers out and about and motorcycles, and it's just kind of busy, so I am right by the road, and hopefully that won't interrupt or interfere. But anyway, that being said, I had to get this out. What prompted me to do this is I was watching TikTok the other day, and there's a girl that shares a lot of information regarding this ascension process that we're all going through, regarding being in 3D versus ascending to 5D. And in the comments of one of her videos, I noticed quite a few people that seemed, concerned or worried that either they weren't doing this ascending properly, they weren't raising their vibration to a specific frequency to be able to make this ascension happen and to be able to move on with the rest of us, so to speak, to this new enlightened world of 5D. And so I started thinking about it, and it really, really just struck a chord in my being, because here's the thing. No matter what is going on, since the very beginning of time, everything is always evolving. We're always changing. The world is always moving, and the universe growing. And it's in seasons. And I guess I just want to put this out there for anybody who is wondering if they're doing it right, if they're not on the right path, just that kind of thing. So here are my thoughts, and obviously these are just my thoughts. And I'm not judging that specific person. I'm not a gatekeeper for, ascension talk or spirituality talks or anything like that. I just don't like people feeling left behind, or like they're not doing it right. So since the time you were conceived, you were destined for a specific something that is for you, a path, a journey that is all about you and all for you. And everything about every individual on this planet is completely unique to that person. And I find it amazing that the human body has somewhere around 70 trillion cells, and they're all arranged in our individual bodies to do what they do and create this symphony within us. And you have a unique impression and a unique signature. So does that mosquito that's in my hair. But we are all unique in our own ways. And so I think that's the first thing to realize, is that you are uniquely poured into this universe to come here, be here, and to create exactly as you will create. And so, it doesn't matter what all of this is. There is no destination, I don't think that there is an end point, a final game. I don't think that there's a blueprint. And I take it all in. All avenues of spirituality are I am fascinated that so many different people across our world have different ideas, and they have different things that they call God. Some people call, you know how it goes. There's a different word, people just feel differently. But I also remember thinking, as a young little girl, being in church, that, something didn't feel right. It didn't resonate with me, that things had to be so strict, and so there was such a box around what was acceptable and what would get you into heaven, or, all of that talk. So fun. See, they're on their spiritual path. But yeah, so I just remember that really not clicking with me. It didn't make sense to me that this all-loving God, this creator, would have a problem with me wearing shorts, or if I painted my nails, you know, that I wasn't getting into heaven, or he was going to be angry and, you know, passing judgment and telling me that I shouldn't be doing that thing. So yeah, it's the thing is, I believe that we do all individually have our own frequency, a vibration that is completely particular and where's my word, unique to us. And so it doesn't matter what path you choose in any moment, any path that you think you want to explore or discover more about. It's either going to resonate with you or it's not. And it's that simple. And so if you're studying any particular, branch, or, you know, whatever, of any kind of spiritual practice, if the things that are being said and taught don't fit, you know, then they're just not going to fit. And that's your sign. Always follow your intuition. You know, and like I said, my practice, I've called myself a witch since forever. I was really, really young, but I had a mom who, she wouldn't embrace that title or that label because, again, it was my grandmother, her mother, that was so strictly or so deeply involved in Christianity. And so she couldn't. There was too much of a taboo for her. But she had, you know, she had these innate gifts and things that she shared. And so it was easy for me to kind of feel like I could hold the label of witch and be proud of it and start sharing the things that I know and that I've seen. So yeah, if you don't feel it, you're not going to feel it. And your intuition will tell you every time. So with that being said, you know, wherever you are on your personal journey, you can kind of, you'll be drawn, you'll be pulled in different directions. And personally, my practice this year, my path, I should say, has been pulled in so many different directions. And I'll probably share that in a different video. I don't want this to be too long. But so just some things to think about, you know, with anything, especially the things that I don't understand, like just to put it out there, like Satanism, for instance, or what some people will call the dark occult or black magic. Those things don't resonate with me, but I have looked into them. And I do that because I want to know why. You know, like I wrote down here, don't accept, don't reject, contemplate. Can't remember who said that. Somebody that I really admire, but it makes so much sense. Regardless of what you're looking into, like, you know, if someone has an opinion or someone tells you something that is a belief of theirs, you know, you don't have to accept that and you don't have to reject it, but give yourself a moment to think about it and, you know, let that bubble in your little cauldron, your mental cauldron, and look into it and see why. You know, always ask why you don't accept that or it doesn't fit. But obviously, if it's not flowing with you, if it's not something that seems to fit, then lay it aside. But at least now you're sort of armored with the information that you know, that can help you understand why you're rejecting that specific thing. And so your path should be, and this is, I think so many people, we've come from a place of you know, expecting the things that we get, the things that feed us, or nurture us or fill us to come from outside of us. And I think that as we move forward and as we are ascending, we're starting to understand that it is a journey of self-love and self-healing. And we've all got our own story as to, the way that things kind of probably fell off the tracks for us, our own traumas and the things that we've been through that have created the story that we share, that sort of help other people understand who we are and define us. But the most important thing is to understand that this journey is about you, and it's about honoring you in every aspect. And again, I think it's beautiful that there are these cultures and these, philosophies that these beautiful ascended masters have studied and put their heart and soul into. And that being said, this is the other thing that I wanted to share, is that, see, we're all sort of repeating. We're all sort of saying the same thing that we read or we hear or we see on YouTube. And oftentimes what I personally try to do is just, take in the information that I get from books or videos or, the greats that have gone before us, the masters and these brilliant people. And I apply it in my life, and there's going to be like a different spin. There's going to be something that clicks within me that makes me see maybe, a different prism, a different color, a different shape. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a way that we pull it into us, our psyche, our energy field, our hearts. And then there's this beautiful thing that happens that comes from us. And I'm gonna move out of the sun. Okay, here we are. Sun's still here, but that's fine. Here we go. Better? Not better? Oh well, I'm not gonna dodge it completely, that's for sure. So yeah, it's just about finding the things that light you up and set you on fire, and then adding your uniqueness to it. So everything that throws you off, everything that doesn't resonate with you, for instance, if you did go down a path that maybe wasn't meant for you, and it throws you off your game and it's just not resonating, or it's a mistake, it's a course corrector. That's what I believe. I believe that every thing that we have that happens in our lives, if it's labeled as negative, I think we should spin that to call it opportunity, because it's just a course corrector and you know what not to do. And all you can do in life really is discover what isn't true. And I don't mean isn't true for everyone. I mean, discover what's not true for you. Because as I said, you're unique and you've got your own flavor, you've got your own design, and that should be honored and revered. And once you see what isn't true for you, then it shines a light on everything that is true. Any study that, any path, I guess I should say, if it doesn't fit, it's not going to fit, And once you see that light, you can really just start to embody and embrace those specific teachings and see where it takes you. And once you begin to embody those things that are naturally resonant with you and increase your vibration and make you happy and fill you, then you'll realize that it's all just a dance. It's just a dance. And we're here to play and discover and learn. And, as you shine the light on those darker areas of your life and you start to weed out the things that don't fit for you, you're going to become this bright, shining being, and it's going to be impossible for you to not be a change in the world. But it all starts with you, and everything that lights you up, it's going to be seen by others, and that's what we need. We need for people to start understanding the beauty that is them, uniquely them. How many people do we have on the planet right now? Is it 8 billion at this point? 8, 9? I don't know, but that's a lot of people. And if a lot of people start to come into their essence and their true knowing, then I don't know, this world could be even more beautiful. And as I wrote down here, about embodying your true nature, and about finding, as I said earlier, finding the things that don't fit or that aren't right, shining a light on the things that aren't true, like, letting go of the things like addictions and expectations, letting go of labels, letting go of patterns and old beliefs. I think that that's the time that we're in at this point, is letting go of all of the things that just don't suit us and they don't help us grow. It either expands you or it contracts you. So regardless of what you're studying, whatever your path is, if it's not expanding you, it's contracting you, and you're not growing at that point. You're becoming stagnant. So I feel like spirituality and any journey that you're on, it should be about honoring you and what feels right to you. So, but also too, and I'm repeating myself here, but the suffering is what allows for growth. And if there were no suffering, there would be no growth. So, but yeah, you will come to a point on your path, the richer it gets, the deeper it gets, where you don't feel a need to impress or prove yourself to others. You don't feel a need to carry specific labels. You don't have to feel as though you're explaining yourself to other people. There's not much to complain about, because you'll start to realize that everything is beautiful. Even the nonsense that you see around you on a daily basis, becomes beautiful. You just realize that other people are just finding their way. They're at their set point for the moment. But, yeah. So just don't feel like you need a cosigner. Follow your intuition. Follow what feels right for you. Something else, I just wrote a couple of notes here too. This life is about you. It's your story. It's not someone else's. Just realize how beautiful you are and how beautiful this world is and how much there is to learn and explore and find out. And that's where I go. I start studying one thing and then I branch off into different things. And I also put make magic your default, because that's one of the biggest reasons that I love what I embrace and being a witch, because magic is my default. And in the word magic, to me, magic is just infinite potential. It's infinite potential. So yeah, seek and study and integrate. And then I also put down here, I put 2 analogies that I wanted to share with you. One is the wheel. And, you can think of just a regular wheel on a tire. And there's the outer edge where you're constantly spinning and it's turning, and it's really, really, you know, out on the road, it's really rumbly and it's crazy out there, and you spin really, really fast. The idea is to understand, first of all, accepting the fact that if you're a wheel, like, be the hub of the wheel, be at the center, because the center is where there's that steady turning and the constant changing and movement, but it's not quite so crazy. And that's what I think that the spiritual journey is. It's like you start out on the outer edges of the wheel, and then you go in, and the further you go in, you get closer to the hub of the wheel. And then eventually you're at that center place where it can still call for a bumpy ride at times, but mostly you're just in that steady flow. And then the other one was music. I like to think of spirituality and being on your spiritual journey as something like, you know, like music. Music is one of those things, maybe not everybody is like me, but music is one of those things that can make or break my day. If something comes on the radio and it's just not my vibe, then I can't get out of the sun. Oh my word. I'm just so full of light that the sun wants to be right here. Okay, so to wrap this up, back to the music part. So for me, specific songs or types of music really, really get me excited and, you know, amplify my mood, or it can completely constrict and I feel like I'm gonna explode. And I feel like it's kind of the same thing with spirituality. You know, you can test the waters and study things that you're not sure about. And you'll feel it. You'll feel it. You'll know if it's right for you or not. Like, if you're one of those people who just, maybe you're overwhelmed and there are a lot of labels out there, and there are a lot of sort of, I don't know how to put it, but there's a lot. There's a lot. And as far as being on the right path, I really just don't think that there is a such thing as being on the right path. There's not one specific thing that we're all supposed to be doing, and that's because we're all so unique. So let your intuition be your guide. And I know that this was a bit of a ramble. I hope that what I've said has helped in some way, because that's why I'm here, you know, just to share my experiences and my thoughts. But never feel like you're doing it wrong. Never ever feel like you're doing it wrong. You are here for a special purpose. That's another thing. Don't get caught up on the word purpose, you know. You're already on purpose. You're already on your path. So yeah, thanks for playing with me in the sun here. And I will be back soon, hopefully, with another video for you. Until then, stay magical and be blessed. I love you all. Bye.